Hi folks, today's video is about the discussion of other ways to lose your license. But first we take overview of the previous video. And yes, before that, I want to say please subscribe, like and share our all videos. This slide shows the comparison between the new and fully licensed drivers, when they get their first and second warning letters, and how many points will be reduced after 2 years of suspension. To promote safe driving for Ontarians, the province has some of the strictest driving laws regarding driving while impaired by alcohol or drugs, careless driving, stunt driving, fleeing police or a collision scene, and so on. In addition to lengthy suspensions for driving offenses, court sanctions can quickly escalate and include fines in the tens of thousands of dollars, reinstatement fees, license restrictions, lifetime bans, and even jail time. Escalating sanctions for hybrid drivers apply if there is any combination of repeat violations of their novice license, G1, G2, M1, M2, conditions within a 5-year period. The penalties under escalating sanctions for novice and hybrid drivers are 30-day license suspension for the first occurrence. Sanctions: dangerous behaviors is defined. The risk of a fatality or serious injury is almost 5 times greater for vehicles crashing at 50 km per hour or more above the posted highway limit. The increase in risk is even greater on roads with lower posted limits. Other types of aggressive driving include driving a motor vehicle to prevent another vehicle from passing, intentionally cutting off another vehicle, limit street racing, and driving stunts. Careless driving is defined as driving without due care, attention, or without reasonable consideration for other persons using the highway, and anyone who chooses to put themselves and other road users at risk by driving aggressively or carelessly. If convicted of careless driving, a driver can face tough sanctions. 0 blood alcohol concentration for all drivers who are 21 and under, regardless of license class. You will receive a 24-hour roadside driver license suspension. For medical suspension, doctors must report the names and addresses of everyone 16 years or older who has a condition that may affect their ability to drive safely, for example, a stroke, heart condition, or dizziness, among others. Doctors report this information to the Ministry of Transportation, and it is not given to anyone else. Administrative driver's license suspension: your license will be suspended immediately for 90 days, if your BAC is more than 0.08% in your blood, or if you refuse to give a breath, blood, oral fluid, or urine sample when asked by police, and if you fail to perform physical coordination tests or submit to a drug evaluation when required by police. If caught driving in the Warren Range, you will receive an immediate driver's license suspension at the roadside for 3 days for a first occurrence, or 7 days for a second occurrence, and you must undergo a remedial alcohol education program. Novice driver violations are failing a driver's re-examination, or don't pay your reinstatement fee or administrative monetary penalty following a suspension, or if your check for license fees are not honored by your bank, or if you voluntarily surrender your driver's license to the Ministry of Transportation. In criminal code suspensions, you will receive a 1-year license suspension. Subsequent offenses increase substantially to a lifetime ban from driving. Convictions will remain on your driver's record for a minimum of 10 years. There are several types of remedial measures. The mandatory Back on Track program is for all drivers convicted of impaired driving-related criminal code offenses. Drivers with more than one Warren Range conviction will be required to take an alcohol education and alcohol treatment program. If your driver's license has been suspended because of a criminal code conviction, your license will remain suspended until you have completed the remedial requirements, and also when you convicted of violations, you will get a suspension of 1 year for a first offense or 2 years for a subsequent offense. To counter the dangerous behaviors of impaired and suspended driving, Ontario law includes 7-day vehicle impoundments for drivers operating a vehicle while under a Highway Traffic Act license suspension, or drivers caught without a required ignition interlock, and all drivers caught with a BAC over .08, or who fail/refuse to comply with a demand made by a police officer under the Criminal Code of Canada. If you are caught driving while your license is suspended for a criminal code offense, the vehicle you are driving will be impounded for a minimum of 45 days. In circumstances involving possible impairment by a drug or a combination of alcohol and a drug, police can require a driver to provide breath samples, perform standardized field sobriety tests, conduct a drug recognition evaluation, and provide oral fluid, urine, or blood samples for screening. If you fail or refuse to comply with any of these demands, you will be charged under the Criminal Code. If you cannot give a breath sample or it is impractical to obtain a sample of breath, the police officer can require you to provide a blood sample instead. The police may also require a driver to provide blood, oral or urine samples. If you fail or refuse to comply with any of these demands, you will be charged under the Criminal Code. Here are some points you should remember. If you use prescription medicines or get allergy shots, ask your doctor about side effects such as dizziness, blurred vision, nausea, or drowsiness that could affect your driving. Read the information on the package of any over-the-counter medicine, including cold, allergy, sedative or diet pills. Ontario leads the way in combating drinking and driving through some of the toughest laws and programs in North America, including license suspensions, heavy fines, vehicle impoundment, and mandatory alcohol education and treatment programs, and the ignition interlock program. Depending on your number of prior convictions, you may be fined up to $50,000, serve time in jail, or lose your license permanently. Your insurance company might not pay for your medical or rehabilitation costs, or for the damage to your or the other person's vehicle. If you have not completed the driver improvement interview by the time your criminal code suspension expires, your license will be further suspended until you have completed the remedial requirements. This program also applies to Ontario residents convicted of driving-related criminal code offences in any other province of Canada, or equivalent offences in the states of Michigan and New York, as well as to out-of-province drivers who are convicted in Ontario. After seeing this video, you know about other ways to lose your license, such as suspensions, zero blood alcohol concentration for novice and young drivers, medical suspension, administrative driver's license suspension, worn range suspension, novice driver violations, criminal code suspensions, vehicle impoundment program, impaired driving, alcohol and drugs. In the next video we will discuss about responsibilities of drivers, that how to maintain a valid driving license with the most correct and up-to-date information, and I am planning to add some quizzes too. Suggest me in comments that will I provide you document of quiz or not. At the last, I wanted to request you please subscribe this channel. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe and share. Have a good day.